Alright, hey, welcome to SpeedGaming 4. Welcome to Casual Boots Tournament yet again. We have a new match for you. It's Dr. Bowser versus Brighteyed. brighteyed77. And Brighteyed is apparently, this is the first time that he's in a bracket stage of a tournament. I'm pretty sure the first game as well, so something to prove, maybe. I'd say, as a result, I'd say we'd have a pretty good game going. I'm Scoopula. I'm here by myself, so I'm not going to make any sense. Chat, you're my cook-on. However, I'm tracking it just for Zook, so I appreciate that very much, because it'll at least let me miss some things and not worry about it for the next hour. Off we go, and sure enough, true to the name, it's Bowser versus Link. Final destination, no items. Quick map check in the hole there, and 3 crystals, looks like. Nothing special about them for the late world. We talked to the uncle and now can swing our own sword without using the boots. Always nice. Hey, sempre you are here. Ish. Good to see you. So yeah, standard escape means I don't generally have much to add to here, but we'll see what we find at least. Maybe we'll find some good stuff. Maybe it'll be 6 pieces of heart. And with the pile of nothing in hand, I guess Brighteyed wants a few drops, or at least see what they are. So those purple guards look like they're in the high value pack. That's good information. It's going to give Dr. Bowser a few seconds, who was behind for a bit, but, again, it's escape. It's not going to send us to the GGs just yet. This escape is all that matters. Thank you for the correction. But here we're looking for, like, just to say that we're playing well today. We're looking for like a 515, maybe a 520. If it's a 530, you're all right. Especially if you farm some drops like we've seen. Lack of bombs so far, so you might see some rat kills. We got about a 5-second split right now. Do want to thank Maddie Walkert also for hopping in here and getting everything lined up for us, so that all these short periods of time that are common in escape do in fact make sense. Yeah. As chat mentions, Very helpfully, Brighthead has the rupee lead there. That 1 rupee is going to make far more of a difference than a 2-minute lead by the time we get to Kakariko. So, I'll tell you what, here's one of these things I never figured out. I do know that these ropes are in with the group that the green guards are in, but I'm pretty sure the purple guards are separate. But I guess I could be wrong because it seems like they always match up whenever I check. So we got high value and we got some bombs as a result. Brighteyed has yet to see that particular drop, but does have 3 from a chest. So. And 3 is enough, primarily, so that does give him a few seconds back here. So, I mean, all this stuff, I have something to talk about until we get out of here. So, that being shortly proximous, we're gonna probably do the standard thing and check bonk rocks, probably check the lumberjack tree, just so it's out of the way and we know what it is. The map for Brighteyed there, so we are even on knowledge. Three more bombs that Dr. Bowser cannot hold, so Brighteyed is now good for past Kakariko. With boots, we only need 3, otherwise you might need 4. Owing to the race game's large crack. So Crab's got ourselves some 20s. Dr. Bowser will take that and opt for, I would imagine, a later crab for better farming. There are several in short order. Just a 5 on the tree, so unless there's Dark World access via that route, we will not see that. Well, we won't see that, but we might see Aga. Flippers, so this will come in handy with the bush crab knowledge, even if we don't find the 600 rupees we're going to need to get that direction. Just a single arrow in here, both runners deftly avoiding it. I run into it commonly. So there's a 300 right away, so this will help out Dr. Bowser's choice to ignore the 1 bush crab at least. If he really needs to, he can get the one east of the dam, is what I expect. And a hook shot right away as well, so we do have 3 pennants. We got to figure out where they are. Even if Swamp is one of them, we at least won't be seeing a whole lot of hovering from anybody today. Another 100, so it's going to be carried right outside directly to the bottle vendor, and so now Dr. Bowser again, and well, neither runner has to worry about any more bush crabs at this point. Small donation made now of 80 rupees. Thank you for your generosity. Yeah, the pot grabs it's a habit. I try to watch, if it's me, and just, if you don't, it's a second and a half. We've seen that matter, and then we can sit here and point at 30 different things where there's second and a half difference happens. But there are definitely worse instances of muscle memory that come into play here. And specifically, those 2 pots in the well or something that tend to come up because by then you've opened 10 chests in Kakariko area, and by then you typically can decide if you need those or not, if you're paying attention. So anyway, just the blue boomerang there, and we already got one of those, so we have all kind of stun options. Our Bright-Eyed's gonna blind this one, and I mean, with boost, it's not too bad. He sees it's blue, so nah. It's a fair choice to make. Unless you find like 3 items or something in Kakariko, you can blind race game, especially with the free ability to knock the wall down and then boost to do it quickly. So no big deal. Lamp in the den. Cape for Aga, all that good stuff. Moon Pearl there. And typically we need either 2 gloves or a glove and a hammer plus that Moon Pearl. If you find a lamp and then the Moon Pearl right after that and you don't have the other 2, yeah, we can talk a little bit about Aga if you like. So mushroom will need a mirror and gloves or a book for. And what I mean about the Moon Pearls, we can have Aga without that, but then that's 1 check you get. And yeah, most of us who've seen some of these before have seen a Moon Pearl there. But if you already have it, that's all a pot. It's catfish if you get a glove, that kind of thing. So once again, about, 10 seconds now separating the runners. Nothing spectacular, and they're on the same path. Mini Moldorm, Flippers, Zord for 500, that kind of thing. So yeah, Divergence, not much of a thing just yet. Bow in there. So that'll be a real quick trip to Eastern. We'll see that probably after Zora, but well before thinking about any of their Aga-related business or, stuff like that. Although we do have that Master Sword now, so we can get in there. I mean, hey, at least we got a dungeon to do. Well, logically, even all these runners will be doing it without a lamp if they have to. We got one. Mirror. Okay, so see now there's a thought of sometimes even with those flippers you can, now that you have that mirror, and yeah, that's what Dr. Bow's going to do. Skip those 4 things at Zora. We have a dungeon to do, and he's going to take the knowledge of that mirror and think that he can probably loop that in with a catfish check later. So I like that call. Now, apparently, prior to Eastern, we're going to one good call followed by one that I guess I don't quite follow. Because if you do have to go to Aga, at least you're already here when you're done. If you go to Eastern first, and I do, well, this is a play. Ignore all that other bit I said. I forgot it's just, casual boots, and we already did escape. I was gonna be like, oh, he's going to do, the escape checks. Well, yeah, we did those. Yeah, it's a play. Yeah, based on missing 2 Dark World items, but there are 6 checks in the eastern direction. You got to do those anyway. So here's that divergence we were looking for. Brightey's going to do all of this, so that's 11 checks if he does eastern, which I kind of expect. So yeah, there's a logical glove at least. There's 1 down. And yeah, I like this coming out here in chat. You got boots, Master Sword, a bunch of hearts. If you're right, you're in good shape. If you're not, make a decision somewhere else down the line to make up for it. There's plenty of opportunity. Yeah, Dr. Bowser missing a lot, but this is a call, and if you're going to make the call, you might as well do it when you want to do it. Like if you're going to get advantage, you want as much as you can. But I mean, I get it. You got. I'll tell you something else. Here's something that I look at. You would expect the randomizer to just give you what you need to get an aga, but when you get extra pieces, we tend to see a lot of times that it does end up being the play. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it does happen. So you see a Master Sword, a lamp, a cape, and all that. But without, extras, I guess it's just something we'll try for and hope for. But yeah, Bright-Eyed, gets a few pieces he likes. He got powder. No way to do anything with that just yet, but we got the glove. We're going to get the 6 checks here now in the eastern area. Yeah, this is the standard play in this situation for sure. Can't go wrong, at least. But Saha with a big flat 0. But, till we see that crystal in hand, we're not too worried. And even then, hey, we got 1 done. But it's like was pointed out before. Mirror will now turn into 2 redirects for Dr. Bowser. That one with the flippers you can do with Catfish, and then the one with Pot Eastern. So you can get Pot first. You won't have a hammer. You might, but you can do them together at least. So here we are. There's the map. The reds are D1 and D7, the crystals. The rest I did not catch. Just 20 on the ledge there. Now, Dr. Bowser will have to go to Pod. Or no, he doesn't. I totally forgot about this. I guess this figured into the play as well. He's got Western Dark World, so that could be... Actually probably was part of the play. If somebody said it in chat and I missed it, I'm sorry, but yeah, this is a thing. Now, of course, he wanted to walk straight up, but yeah, quickly remembered he's got to swim it. Flippers, hook shot. Feeding into the aga play, so I mean, that's quite fair as well. Real quick tempered via mirror here for Dr. Bowser. So short of 20 minutes, that'll definitely pay itself off here. You know, as though we spent money for it or something, but we spent time, I guess. We do AGA, we get it now, so that'll help. Right out here, just trucking through Eastern. Nice thing with boots. A lot of these dungeons feel a lot better. Nothing spectacular in here. You know, Brighteyed has the glove in hand, and Dr. Bowser does not. But on the path he's on, you know, like we saw, you don't need them. You can swim around the blockage north of Pyramid and hook across like that. But this is quite a lot of stuff that, you know, both runners are figuring they're probably going to have to do anyway. And I was not 100% counting Eastern checks, but there's no hammer here on Armos. That is, yeah, pretty sure going to necessitate Ganon for Brighteyed as well, which will make Dr. Bowser's call quite clairvoyant. And the only difference then will be having to do Eastern at some point, but like we said with the mirror, it'll save, you know, sub-minute at some point for Dr. Bowser. Brighteyed can get to the mountain, yeah. So yeah, that's why I sat there. I'm trying to think. I really should just have a map handy whenever I'm doing this kind of thing. But crystal in hand here for Brighteyed. Dr. Bowser making good use of the boomerang there, and then, yeah, thankfully has a sword since you can't use anything else while you're in door state. That Gibdo just causing all kind of issues like it does. We'll Death Warp out and do the front. But yeah, as pointed out, to the mountain goes brighteyed77. While walking past the $5 at Aga's tree, if you will. Dr. Bowser finds one of the two items in Skullwoods, happens to be the same thing. I did kind of wonder we didn't see the pot key after the Death Warp there in the middle, but I'm going to do it this way, and after not seeing one is just expecting to come up with one. It could get interesting, because if for some reason you don't find one, and there it is. When you make a Dark World play like you did, it's a long trip back. So I didn't see what was here in Brighteyed's case, but must be good. Red King? Hammer, okay, yeah. So that's standard Dark World access. Feels a lot better now, so. Brighteyed, the only thing he does not have at this point is Dark World knowledge, and if he goes to Kakariko and sees the pendant in here, might decide to do some of that. Might just quit go pot, I don't know. Yeah, I respect the Aga play, I do. And one-on-ones especially, you gotta look for something. And this is why I always lose the things, because I just play the same way all the time. Everybody knows it. 301 and 1 rupee. Here in the top/bottom of Paradox. But we got 5 more to go. Brighteyed does have the mirror, so it doesn't matter, but has 2 options to get the tire hair, and there's the gloves, so we're all set. The mitts, rather. More than Paradox usually has. We have, I guess, probably at this point already more than half of what we need for go mode, but there's still going to be, medallions, both rods, cane, that kind of thing. So we're just soft playing the game now. One of the couple of very cooperative fairies. Another one being seems like if you ever spawned one in Skullwoods going from front to back, it always flies right into your face. But yeah, we do see a flute on Floating Island, which, as far as I know, yeah, with mitts especially, Dr. Brighteyed has access to, so that'll be nice. Let me get out of here. We'll get to that. Now, flute, one of those things that could send us in a goofball direction if we're not careful, since Myra's just a pendant. But yeah, thank you, chat. Once again, it will give us desert access without having to look for literature. Quick and easy hair pot here. Hopefully we can come up with 2 items before the boss, and we don't have to worry about anything else. There's one. So here, Dr. Bowser without the glove. You know how many people I see pull that rock and realize it doesn't work? So heads up play there. Nice to see. I mean, if you forget, it's not a big deal. So Brighteyed has some options here. You can do 3 spins or 3 hammer hits or some combination thereof to avoid the angry worm, but unfortunately got the long straight path there, so we'll have to try it again. One more instance of boots making things feel a lot better. That was a nice hammer hit, and Brighteyed's happy to have that one. So down goes the worm. There's the other the item, so no basement. We all like feeling good, even if we're in chat and we want to see things that don't. So 2 crystals now to Dr. Bowser's 1 pendant. And as I recall, nothing spectacular in Thieves' Town as well. I see a bottle. We'll see what that turns into, since we're at least here and can do so. Unless we already did or something. If we did, I missed it. We did not, so check it out. And when Dr. Bowser sees a glove or something, which he won't, he's going to feel good about Aga, but Ice Rod's not bad, but Brighteyed won't miss that either. Probably. If that glove was in Thieves' Town, or the bottle, then I'd say pretty sure we're going to find another one of the 3 remaining. Yeah, reasonable from chat is a good description for that one. Not in the way, but Not left side swamp. Pendant either. Which it is, by the way. Pendant swamp. Like I was wondering before. So kid caught the cold. Nice comment. Upvote, everybody. That's a thing, right? There's our boots replacement there, along with the Bombos tablet and Super Bunny Cave. Yeah, it could be called a meme whenever we're talking about Ice Rod and Turtle Rock, but as we see there that we can't get into Turtle Rock, even though we don't have a cane anyway. We're going to need another medallion for that, but so there's a Dark World. So yeah, that was, like we saw, Dark World 2, 4, and 6 with the pendants. Dr. Bowser once again taking a few screen transitions, lack of glove, to get the hype cave here. Really wants to see it, of course, again, to make that agate play feel a lot better, but it's like nothing so good in Hookshot Cave there. But we'll now head around to get that flute. So, second bow here in Hype Cave. And, it's nice to have, but again, Bright-Eyed will probably come up with that. Dr. Bowser tried to predict what the... oh, we're going here. Did we see this? We did not. It's a blind check. Although maybe he's trying to deke the bomb or whatever it is and got unlucky. Almost paid for it, but still alive, thankfully. So yeah, now Dr. Bowser wants these flipper checks here. Or at least this one. We might decide to go to Zord and walk clear around and come back for pod. I could see it. Bright-Eyed with a pretty good load of equipment here. Taking King's Tune the other way with those myths getting the tempered. And then on the other side getting a shovel here from Man Under the Bridge and not appreciating it. Gonna depetrify the bird here, and then we get to do what we want. So here comes the glove, or at least one of them for Dr. Bowser, and it's going to allow mountain access as well. So again, you might walk around and do pod and really push that agate thing, since he doesn't have a hammer yet either, and see, I mean, I would. If you're going to make a call, make that call. Keep making it, but we'll see. Let's see, yeah, he hasn't done Eastern yet either, and he knows. He's known, and he'll be able to do that as well, so that'll be most of 2 dungeons that get done. This is a nice call here with Missing Flute. Just hop straight in here and see what you can check mirror as well, so we'll check checkerboard here, since no payout just yet. I didn't catch the medallion, but the tracker did. Thank you very much. Quakes all around. So Bright-Eyed has Bombos, which for now is not completely useless. We can go into Ice Palace without a cane. It can be finished with the appropriate tricks if necessary, like the Ice Palace bomb jump. So imagine Bright-Eyed will do what he can, hope to run into the cane, but if a dungeon is on the table and that's the only one, we'll see Ice Palace sooner rather than later. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the map chest here. I've done that. There's that big key, so... I mean, we knew we were going to get it on the way back, but at the same time we have a mirror, so we wouldn't have necessarily walked that direction. So, good on the brain there. Yeah, Dr. Bowser would be a little bit unthrilled whenever he sees a hammer and mitts and all that stuff, but again, you got to make a call, and I still agree with what was pointed out earlier that, it's not a massive loss. Once he sees, or once we see, crystal counts get evened up, we'll reassess, I guess. But I think that one of the bigger things at this point will be Thieves Town, actually. See if Bright-eyed actually ends up in there or not. So watch for the next bottle, I guess. Yeah, that's another good point. Green pendant had from Thieves Town, from Thieves Town, which we'll see shortly. And that's an out that Dr. Bowser currently has. Ice Rod / Spin Stress, Bright-eyed for land mode. You'd rather a Fire Rod, but Ice is not bad. Same damage as that spin of a Tempered Sword. So now 3 crystals for Bright-eyed, and again, not Bright-eye's ahead, but not 3 crystals worth. We expect to see some overworld running here from him at some point. So here's a green pendant. Yeah, just piece of art. So, Agus is a thing, but the routing is good. This is all a nice way to tie this stuff together. Dr. Bowser sees his items, thinks about them, and figures out a lot sooner than I do. There's a red cane in the big chest. So now that Ice Palace play feels a whole heck of a lot better. Fire Rod and Quake for good. Just like that. Okay, nice shot there, Bright-eyed. I thought maybe it was into the rock, but so pod first from Bright-eyed. You have a choice here. You're gonna do both dungeons in pretty short order anyway, and probably full clear them, so doesn't really matter what you want to do. Cape there for Dr. Bowser, which isn't anything progressive, just a nice thing to have. So speaking of the usual implications for that, Spike Cave is a thing. We have a lot to do, but we have something that was on Restream or another. Oh, it was SMZ3. We had a big old Spike Cave Fire Rod leading to boots, so ended up deciding things. So it's one of those things. Something we look for if we're looking for remaining spiciness. Probably see the entirety of Swamp before we see stuff like that, but or we'll have both items in one of the next 2 dungeons that Bright-eyed will be doing. So now Dr. Bowser got the rear end. Apparently, yeah, I guess I didn't really watch too close, but didn't do the rest of the mountain. So still missing a glove, but I think realizes that, you know, he's got to get some dungeons done at this point. So this is fair. So yeah, at least for him, he does not know about either medallion requirement yet, nor does he have any, but it'll happen. Guess we found a big key, so Dr. Bowser going straight to the boss. Knowing, you know, boss only have one item and he needs more than that, but this isn't, you know, this is okay. You get a lot more benefit out of it if you, like, let's say, don't have a mirror, because then you can just do the rest of the dungeon afterward and just quit out. But it's pretty time neutral with all this stuff. Break out the silvers and make Helma nice and quick. Now, that'll be something that Bright-Eyed won't be able to do. Won't be a massive difference, but something that Dr. Bowser can put in his pocket and see. Now, there's a glove, so, or not a glove, bottle here for Bright-Eyed will soon have, and will, I imagine, take very long to get to Sick Kid, especially with the flute. Yeah, there was another bottle. I was just saying that Dr. Bowser could, you know, use that as an out, but like I said, probably not anyway, because we have 3 more that we're going to have to find before GT anyways. Bright-Eyed, you know, for his purposes, just has to remember Sick Kid, and that's it. Now, anyway, so yeah, a couple of Helma swords down. That'll be 4 for Bright-Eyed. 4 crystals, that is. It'll be 1 for Dr. Bowser. You're going to see the rest of the dungeon get cleared out bilaterally now. You could make a case for dunking out of here with the amount of items we need left. I, you know, probably wouldn't do it either, but especially since it takes a minute to get back to. I think I bought might have been Thieves' Stone. Just because that's where I saw it and wasn't paying attention for the actual pickup. We're just looking for, if that was the case, we were just looking for justification for having been in there, since there was, as we see, nothing else. So, as what remains now, a bullet point here. Bright-Eyed never ends up in there. That's a good chunk of time we save. Last chest here, just 300. So as we probably expected. Nothing much in the rest of this, but fair to not leave it here. It's just not ideal to do. So I'm guessing a flute 8 here. It's either going to be 8 or 3. We'll hopefully see that 3 before too long. Always be clearing, they say. Yeah, a little early on that, unfortunately. It's going to be hard to remember. Even now, even after you play a couple hundred seasons, it makes sense to have in your mind that, yeah, he's wiggling, that means he's an entity now, but he's not, so. Now, with no half magic, that could, well, no, it won't, because we get our Bombos magic right before Cold Stare's door there, so we'll be alright. Some bomb strats here from Brighteyed. Does them quite well. I've had to do this a couple times lately because I didn't have a hook shot. I never remember how, so very nice work there. It's almost down for Dr. Bowser. So Pod Eastern out of the way. Now has, I don't know any other choice than the mountain, probably. Welcome in, Scottish Brave, with a rate of 12. Watching ALTTPR Casual Boost Tournament between Dr. Bowser and brighteyed77. Small, quick, and easy recap. Dr. Bowser made an Aga play, seeing a bunch of parts for it. Didn't end up being necessary, but it was a nice call because it gave us access to Western Dark World from flippers and a hook shot. And easy to respect someone who is looking for a play in a one-on-one bracket stage here. It's always, we get in here and it's not like we're professional, dedicated commentators, so we go off of our own experiences, and I know for a fact I'd never be that brave. I should. It might actually get me to maybe win one of these or two, but that's just a nice palace for Dr. I'm so good at names. brighteyed77. Looking for that last item, which will now be on Cold Stare. Dr. Bowser will soon see the myths and have some stuff to do at that point. Sees that flute as well. Actually, I already saw the myths, so those are in hand. Yeah, Bowser Sprite, for the namesake purposes. Good job on whoever did it, because I don't think typically see Bowser in anything top down. Small mention of starting to run out of locations for Fire Rod, but we still got a very valid one right here in front of us. So hold our crazy theories here for just a minute, but then go nuts. Just a 20, wrong red thing. Bombos, once again being Ice Palace access here that Dr. Bowser now has. Meantime, 5 crystals in hand. We only need a Fire Rod and a Quake Medallion. Once again, still, so they remain at large. And we do have a shovel in hand both ways. I don't know that we saw it for either runner. I think they want to, and rightfully so, wait for the possibility of having to do Smith's Chain and just loop it all in there. Yeah, it was easy for Dr. Bowser to clean out Skullwoods when he was there just because he had to do the counterclockwise loop, not having a glove. Brighteyed looks like might be headed for... Well, at least can do Hype Cave. I don't know if we're going to see Swamp here, but that would be a play. So Brighteyed will now get to Silvers. Hey, that'll even up the Vitreous fight, right? That we're totally going to have to do. Right. Yeah. I apologize. So yeah, we'll see what's next here. But yeah, hair for Dr. Bowser. Might see Spike Cave after this. I would. We'll see. So Pyramid Catfish for Brighteyed. Good call. You will never be closer. Especially with Turtle Rock being one of the 5-6 crystals. Sometimes you like to put it off, but we know what we need isn't going to be in that crack there, so do it now. And yeah, for Dr. Bowser, yeah, no, we didn't see Catfish yet, so this will be new information. I'm sure Dr. Bowser would have loved to loop this in with the Zorchex, but didn't even have a glove, so... Like, either a runner couldn't have done that either which way because of where they were. I guess I should say where East Death Mountain access was, but nothing here. On to the next one for Brighteyed. Crystal in hand again for Dr. Bowser. That is now 3. Setting 5 to 3. Brighteyed is now facing the Western Dark World, so once again, we'll see how long Thieves' Town takes. If I was him, at this point now, yeah, I would probably be doing it. But as expected, here comes Spike Cave, Dr. B. And if this is one of those things we need, this will help pretty significantly. Just some mail. Nice, but whatever. Yeah, two items from go for most of us. Dr. Bowser needs that cane still. We gotta... I don't remember where it was now, but wasn't anything spectacular, or else I would. Desert, yeah, okay, Desert Big Chest, so... The only bugaboo there is if you do the standard play and hope that it's on the boss, you don't actually forget about going back in. And I don't expect that, but it can happen. So Bright-Eye's going to run in the second item here in Skullwoods pretty quickly, and we'll be out, and we'll see what he does at that point. I don't think he's done Graveyard Ledge, so it might be something he chooses not to leave. So once again, it'll be a thing you won't be closer to than you are now. Head discussions. Yeah. Yes. But no way to check, so I expect both runners will exhaust every option they have first. And yes, that can include Mire. You ever got to remember, Firelock Fire does apply to Mire. And I'm going to go ahead and coin that because it does rhyme and everything. I definitely have won a couple of races with that modification to the meme. So here's going to be Bright-Eye's Ice. Maybe. Oh, you got the Ice Rod already. Okay. But yeah, this is going to look like Thieves' Town, so nobody's going to know it, but that'll take away one of Dr. Bowser's time losses. I don't see Bright-Eyed not going in there after all of this. But then, yeah, Smith Chain and everything along that will be probably what will be next here for Bright-Eyed. But for anybody who hasn't, seen most of this, I will point out that both runners have had real good execution, quite even. So it gives us something to talk about. We all are going to have to just see what happens with the decisions, because that's where it's going to come down to, that and Rando itself. That's how you want it. Dr. Bowser's cane, not forgotten. So yeah, probably a pretty darn quick trip to Ice Palace now. Well, after, I guess, checkerboard here. Giving that wall what for there, waiting for the bird. So yeah, totally fair play from Bright-Eyed. unfortunately, we'll wind up with when they actually opt to take the green pendant over before Smith Chain. It's a choice, 50-50 on that one. It's like most checks in the game, typically have nothing until they do. Don't know if I've ever seen a fire rod on a Saha, though. Seen medallions, see ice rod all the time. I think I might have seen fire rod on a Saha once, and if I did, it was whenever Skullwoods and Turtle Rock were both pendants. So that was a good time. Yeah, in about a minute here, we're going to be pretty well evened up on, well, we're going to be evened up on crystals. We're going to be pretty well evened up on time, and yeah, both these runners are pretty experienced. Dr. Bowser making the call he did. Yeah, it's a rando decision because, you know, you half expect to run into a situation like this where you're hunting for stuff, and that does tend to even things out. Another thing, I mean, you might also feel he has an execution advantage on Bright-Eyed. Hard to actually say, I don't know, but, you know, that could have fed into the Aga play as well. You know, he was potentially going to lose a few minutes to that. Stuff for the interview, I guess. But here comes some Smith Chain ahead of the green pendant, which will work out more than likely here. So yeah, there's one. Hammer pegs. Have you ever seen a required progression on that before? Anybody want to talk about fire rod and laser bridge yet? No, didn't think so. Yeah, Brighty's going to finish this thing out, and that's what you do here. Hold stare for Dr. Bowser, same way Bright-Eyed had to do it. Pet in logic, yes, pet is in logic. Still just the one potential item, but I mean, hey. Stay tuned, as they say. We're going to trade a frog for a purple chest. Move right along. We got 3 checks ahead of that. Hopefully one of those is a thing. I think we saw Stumpy already, though. Mushroom turn in. Yes, for Dr. Bowser, we noticed nothing. Cave 45. Heart piece. That is a pretty notorious one as well, especially whenever we get a late mirror. Well, we didn't, but you gotta check it. We must have seen the shovel. Remember, Chad at least doesn't remember either one doing it, so don't ask me. Yeah, there's nothing it did game. It was a couple of digs. Pretty sure brighteyed even did do it before Smith Chain, but don't take anything I say as actual fact. I guess probably I should be expected to, but... So yeah, Dr. Bowser, for his part at least, just right behind what brighteyed had done. We'll find at least the Quake here now. Wonder how spicy we're gonna get. Brighteyed's looking like headed towards Spike Cave. Or no, he's got Turtle Rock, so we're gonna do that, obviously. It's kind of spicy. You might get locked out real quick, but at the same time, you have to actually walk up here. So yeah, I'm being informed in my text-based earpiece here that brighteyed did in fact not do dig game. So it's a choice also, or it's just a forgotten thing. I don't actually know. He said I play the game same way every time, so... yeah, way more checks in here, but there is no fire-locked fire. So it's all a matter of what you believe in. And I mentioned in chat about Swamp, we just don't like it. And I think a lot of that has to come with, if we don't find it before left side, or even before big chest. Well, I guess with Spec Equip now we can just do the back first anyway, but nobody likes doing it. I always do it, and even I don't like it. But you're right, it does quite frequently end up being the answer. So yeah, sure enough, brighteyed getting kicked out of Turtle Rock. Go ahead for Spike Cave now. Just another loop. So yeah, we might see Mire from brighteyed, but from Dr. Bowser, we're going to see some Swamp. Actually, it was the one of these recent races I was in. I think it was just ladder or something like that, nothing like this, where it was a fire rod and ended up being in Mire, fire locked, instead of Ice Palace, which was the choice the opponent made. Again, fire locked. But it looks like Swamp for both. So that being said, we can now say for sure that Dr. Bowser has a small lead. One of those things that's definitely within GT routing. You tend to enjoy, however, you don't have to pay too hard for Ice Rod, but then you got to pay for the other one. But we'll still take it, because if it were flipped, we'd be knees deep into Turtle Rock for sure. So there's everybody's favorite Specky Clip setup, right through right through the rail onto the statue and through. So we save a key and we can use later to speed up left side if we need it. Which maybe Dr. Bowser's betting on because he's already got the thing. Could also be muscle memory, just, you're used to getting it, as we see Bright-Eyed now doing as well. For 6-7 years of Rando, if you've been around that long, you're doing it that way, so. The Dr. Bowser doing left side now. Again, this is something you only lose if you have to do it, you only lose a bit of time that it takes to get back to the lobby, as it were. So this is one of these remaining decisions that both runners are going to have to make, and it looks like Bright-Eyed is going to do that as well. Had there been divergence here, that could have been another bullet point on the timeline, but if you do wind up in Mire, you could see a quick big key and then a boss rush, or not. That'll be another one. Looks like we didn't see a diver down from Bright-Eyed. It can be a bit of a tricky thing, but not a major loss, but enough of one at this point in this race. Not that either runner knows that just yet. No big key yet, so if there remains something other than a map or compass by the time we get through to Argus and no fire rod, we're going to have to walk back in and do that, because I don't see it getting left either. I've already seen that compass. I don't actually know. Nope. Well, there's one. Actually, compass was in the front, so yeah, Big Chest is going to have something. There's that big key just late enough that you can't really justify turning around for it. Have to do Argus first. There's a bomber down here, variant from Bright-Eyed to get through that way. I don't know it, so I'm glad somebody does. So that's Argus down, and it's going to be 2 pendants, which are actually relevant, since that's just a 20 there on Swamp's boss. So, something or another intensifies. Yeah, I will agree with chat, though. The only thing worse than garbage, well, worse is subjective, but the only thing worse than that is canceled garbage. Nobody likes that. Hui. So Dr. Bowser finishes Swamp with 3 blue things. in hand, but Bright-Eyed now getting 1. Gonna get 3 more. Oh boy. Hey, you know what? For my purposes, as long as it's on the Firelock side, I can say I was right. It does seem to keep happening. Yeah, I mean, from chat, we're asking how Dr. Bowser is still, ahead, basically, now that, we have no divergence left, despite having done Agate. Well, the Charter Rock dip is part of it, but, he said, I haven't really seen any rotting mistakes from either runner, but it could have been the Dr. Bowser's ability to wrap up the Dark World the way he did. Could have helped with that. And there's one of your 2 items. It looks like we got, and then Catfish was another one. So I think we're still talking about GT at this point. GT Rando. Yeah, both runners' execution is pretty solid, and there weren't any, things that I love to do myself, which is start to head one direction and somewhere in the middle realize, oh, I didn't mean to go this way, and then turn around. So that's all pretty well tightened up. So no big key at 1 item down, which is a gold sword. Whatever. Again, if you want a gold sword, you'd like it an hour ago. Lobby chest. Small key. See the door extension here to get through, and I still gotta get that figured out. Way more. Well, I guess you do need boots for it. If you don't know it, it's not that big of a deal. So there's a big key. This is typically where you get the big chest. I guess Dr. Bowser just realized that. That's one of those things I was talking about. It's like, if you don't... And it is hard. It doesn't matter who you are. To collate everything in your head very, very quickly. Like, we're talking about less than a second to remember that, hey, by the way, I have a chest here. And that's just a big key. So here becomes the point, again, where we might choose to go to the boss. And if it was a crystal, that decision would be a lot easier. But it's one of these things that depends on how you feel. Of course, cutscene, for once, will be quicker. But, of course, the right decision is the one where the item is. And if this item ends up being not Fire Rod, and I'm gonna do the boss anyway. To whoever, I'm sure most of you, and although people are being nice and not reminding me of it, I will do it myself. Very sorry for saying something about Vitreous at all. Just in case the next 10 seconds doesn't pan out. Said that about 45 minutes ago. I actually wasn't counting keys or beer. Oh boy. Wasn't even an item. Yeah, so boss has something. So we either really gonna enjoy this and the runners won't, or vice versa. Oh boy. Yeah, like I mentioned before, I am 100% with Chad at this point. I don't want to see it here, but you know, I know Viddy, unfortunately. I mean, I'll tell you what, if it isn't here, I think at the very least both runners have to feel like, you know, this is your opponent's third pendant also. It's a buck! We're not going to pet you. Well, we might. Oh boy, hey, you know, more choices, but what runner alive wouldn't go to pet first? I don't know. Again, it has to. You got to go where the item is. Wow, that could have been 10 arrows or something, but no. Yeah, we're going to pet. And if it's not it, then Bright-Eyed somehow chooses not to go to pet. Oh man. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I know I've pulled the book out on Restream before pet, and I got torn up for it. But we're in a tournament here, ladies and gents. There it is. It's just to scare you. Oh man. Thanks, Bowser. Red mail! Stop with the red. It isn't on a stick. And sure enough, Bright-Eye's going to pet. I mean, come on, man. We have tablet choices. They remain. This Ether, of course, being the faster one. So if it's here, you know, Dr. Bowser's going to increase his lead a bit, and still won't be what GT can't solve for Bright-Eyed, but both runners getting the book out for us. Thank you very much. What a seed. And there it is. And so Bright-Eye's lead is going to, or Bright-Eye's deficit is going to widen here as he's headed toward Bombos. And it's unfortunate, but you have just no way of knowing. Bright-Eye might feel behind. He might know that this is a slightly longer check, but, you know, could be the right one. Just to wrap everything up, though, Dr. Bowser, for his purposes, could have run into a big pile of nothing there because he didn't do TR. And for all he knew, it could have been in there. So there was that went into all these decisions as well, but. He is now in go mode at about 123. Just has these two dungeons to finish. And yeah, more red stuff. as it were, on Bombo's tablet there for Bright-Eyed. So once Bright-Eyed gets the GT, we'll see how he feels. I mean, could have a tower and thing. I don't honestly know if I would, but I'm thinking about it. I think that is what is going to have to happen routing wise in there to make this one up. I mean, there's always stuff like Moldorm and Ganon's shenanigans, but this kind of equipment, maybe more Moldorm than Ganon, but we will see. Number 6 for Dr. Bowser here, just the one to go on the mountain where you like it to be. And Josh Bittner, wonderful admin of the tournament. If you are watching this, either live or not, nice seed we had. I gotta play at 8, he knows it, but you know, we'll make it. It's just funny to me. Yeah, we got to see Pet even if it wasn't the thing, right? So, the winner is you, chat. Agree. So, what do we got? About a minute and a half? 2? I guess we could see something other than towering. That could make a difference. Now we're go-moding TR, and there is I guess we've mathed out a 3% chance of skipping the big chest being an issue. But that being the case, I'd expect both runners to do that as well. And yeah, it is worth mentioning again, Dr. Bowser does have that Aga kill in hand. Not that probably the best way to phrase it because it's time loss, but it's not the straight amount of time we feel that, you know, would be accumulated from climbing the tower because of how Dr. Bowser was able to route the Dark World after that. Also, I think somebody said, and that would be twice I didn't pay attention if so I'm sorry if this is not true, but I don't think Dr. Bowser even got as far as Catfish. Maybe? Going to the glove in there, and the other one not being accessible until you had that one. Does Dr. Bowser have any magic goo in chat? Yes. We both had a bottle pickup of it, but don't actually remember if it got used. I don't think it did. I mean, there's enough full pots in here, we're not going to need it, but could come in handy in GT if you have a few bugaboos in there. But I've seen it happen. I mean, you have Samari refill, which is a lot easier to have red boomerang as well. You don't see that much, but it happens. You'd see it more on Trinix. You'd see it matter more if we didn't have tempered or up, because those heads can be quite dodgy in any sense of the word you care to apply it. So here comes Trinix. Dr. Bowser ready to go with the ice rod out. See some real quick strats here, whether you choose to backdoor or not. A gold sword. Trinix moved a little away, but I think still in a good position to get a nice double spin here. Does indeed, and it doesn't even move out of the way, just gives another whack to the head while it's still vulnerable, and that's it. So it's about that time, chat. There's numbers between 1 and 22, and I want to see them. Get them in there. Where you think that GT big key will be in order of chess opened. And this is a goofball answer here is what Brighteyed will really want to see if he feels like making use of that fact. And again, I don't know what he'll do, but we will find out pretty quickly. So I'm going to put in, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put in a 15. I don't see, I don't know, I do see one. Never mind. Okay, 16. Nope, 17. I want to be unique. I'll go 17, and we're closed. Starting left side. Best prize right there. There you go. We're done. No, it's just green rupee. Two through 5. Surprising lack of small keys. I don't know. Whatever goes into it, I usually see at least 2. And I mean, that's rare even for me. It's like, well, fairly rare. It's 2 or 3 most of the time. Anyway, blue bottle now, so in case that ever becomes necessary, there it is. Yeah, it's just a fun game. Bluter will take the guess because it was not yet opened, but no dice. last remaining safety, which we will probably not use. And we still don't have half magic. It does save a little bit of magic, but I don't see it getting used at this point with what we have left to do. But at any rate, 6 through 9, nothing. Back to the left. Looks like both runners are going to do the same thing here. So it doesn't feel good. I'm not actually sure what their go-to route is. Because again, a lot of this could be influenced by how they feel things have went. I mean, I'm sure they both are pretty well convinced that the other runner did the same stuff, but I guess it's how they feel about their own play. The only thing to modify that last thing I said was, Dr. Bowser probably feels like he's the only one that did Aga. You don't even know he's ahead right now. But indeed, we are now synced up because Bright-Eyed did not get back to the right. So that's fun. Good times here on SG4. We have 1.5 seconds now separating the runners. And there it is. I guess, what is that? I have no idea. I'm watching other stuff. Sorry. I can't even tell which one got it first at this point. How fast can you menu and mirror? Oh boy. Bright-Eyed having just a little less trouble than Dr. Bowser does. It's funny as heck when you get to talk about stuff like this making a difference, and here we are. And then Bright-Eyed is switching right back the other way. Wow. So once again, Dr. Bowser with the 2-second lead about. Some Mario stress in here, which is a choice with a gold sword, and it can induce some lag, as you see. Bright-Eyed is now once again back ahead. Yeah, for Rando being Rando, there wouldn't be much racing if it didn't work out and was tweaked to such where you can have a lot of races like this. And no matter what, the results most of the time tend to feel pretty fair. So it's pretty interesting like that. Yeah, anybody just coming in, since I sent out a thing to get some people in here if they wanted to see this live. You'll notice on the tracker provided by Gesture Zooks, once again, thank you very much for doing it, because I know I would have had a miserable time at this point keeping everything straight. That Ganon is done for Dr. Bowser, and you see how far apart they are. This is a full clear seed, so wasn't even decisions. Everybody did the same stuff, just in different ways. So. Alright, I'd taken a fall on mobile. Yeah, so more of a difference than even I expected there to be from such a thing about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, we're going to have the same AGA pattern between runners, in case you didn't know that. That is part of the seed. So let's see how they handle it here. And there goes AGA 2 for Dr. Bowser. Nothing too crazy in here, but we're back to, 7-8 seconds after that fall, so a little bit made up there. You can see, Super NES CPU lag here decides something. That's always the, if you're not used to watching this, that seems weird, but it's a fun thing to see because most of the time you can directly influence that kind of thing. Sometimes in these fights you'll see some Mario block get thrown out to get a few extra hits in. Maybe less with the gold sword here. We're just seeing tank strats here, and I don't blame either runner for it. They, hey, both have that blue bottle in hand. The only difference is Bright-eyed had to actually use it. He may not know it's going to make a difference. It might. You got to pause the game for 3 or 4 seconds. As of now, Dr. Bowser still has a small lead. We see the 4 set of tiles going down, but again, same patterns from Ganon here. There's Dr. Bowser's blue potion, so... And, almost missed that torch glitch. Wow. Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna shut up for a second. There goes, yeah. Oh man. We gotta cross this bridge still, but Dr. Bowser has the lead. This is typically GG's. Get him in anyway for both runners. Oh. Okay, gesture, just mark him done, but if it says winner on the screen, I don't think we can call it yet. I have never been a part of something like that. Yeah, on appearances, it looks like Bright-eyed got it, so we'll go with that, but officially, I don't know that we can say it yet. Josh, Earworm, Snoo, you got some work to do. Oh man, so we'll get him in here to talk about it. I got a race in 10 minutes. This sucks. I gotta go talk to my opponent. Give me just a minute. Okay, we got Dr. Bowser GG's with no delay. I don't know if you have any idea what just happened yet, so do you?
GG's. I know it was close, closer than I was expecting.
Lead changed 3 times on Ganon alone.
Holy cow.
The blue bottle for him, the blue bottle for you. On stream, and it was still synced. He might have got it by a second or two, but you're going to have to talk to the admins on this one. We already mentioned that, but just wow. And, here comes Bright-Eyed. I'm going to pull him in here before I say too much. Welcome in, GG's Bright-Eyed. Do you know what happened?
I am shook. I'm shook.
Yeah, we're all shook. I have no idea what to say about this.
That was wild.
So, let's talk Aga first off, now that you're all here.
Which one?
Number 1, actually.
Oh.
What, did you do that too?
No, I skipped it.
Oh,
Yes.
I saw the flippers and the hook shot and the lamp, and then with the mirror, I'm like, oh wow, I could do Pod and Eastern together, maybe. You know what? I figured, let's just go for it. What are the odds that the entire Dark World loop, around Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts, would be a bust? And well, kind of was, but made up a little bit of time getting to mirror a little more.
Yeah, well, I just saw the whole mountain open, and Hera was also completable, so I was like, might as well just go do it, and just got lucky with the glove up there.
Yeah, I don't think I was gonna do Zora ahead of time. I might have done the hobo, but I just save and quit right out of Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, that's funny. I did the whole light world loop. Oh man, I can't believe you burned a goo on Ganon too.
Well, yeah, I didn't have half magic, and I can't remember what I used it on. But yeah, I just spammed too many fire rod shots, missing the torch.
Yeah, we saw that. See, let me ask you this: how did you feel before the dot-dons? Either one of them.
I literally said basically it was like, well, okay, this is either a win or it's really, really close. Was not expecting simultaneous though.
Yeah, so, I know how good Dr. Bowser is, so I was expecting like maybe he had like a mistake or like something like set him back really, really hard because it was such a trolley seed. I was not expecting to be in the race even as close as I was. So when he didn't dot done as I was going to, I was like on cloud 9.
Don't sell yourself short. I've seen your race.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, man.
Just, wow. I mean, so here's the thing. With the hundo seed like this, the divergence that happened, at least you basically already just covered with among yourselves there. We're going to wait this out and see what the collection rates are. I'm sure they're real close, but I mean, the only other thing that I didn't think of, Jesse, and I'm sure there'll be more. Now, here's the problem: is I got to dip because I got
hello,
like real soon because I got to play date. But GT, when you did DM, Bowser, Dr. Bowser, you did DM.
Yep.
So there was that helped. That you both picked up big key within a second and a half each other, and that's how it wound up.
That's cool. Yeah, I think I will want to watch that back.
Guys, I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, we hear you. Well, now I don't. But...
Can you hear anything now?
Well, I hear you. But
yeah, I hear everyone. I hopefully brighteyed is able to get that back. No, I'd love to see a close race through GT. So I'm glad it worked out that way. After Aga and everything, I kind of just figured it was sunk. So to be close, I'm glad it was at least a good race to watch.
Yeah, I've never seen, much less been a part of something like that. So I mean, wow.
I can't wait to watch it back.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that Aga, we were, all trying to figure out that Aga thing, mostly got made up for by what Aga allowed you to do, Dr. Bowser, but that, I mean, everything kind of played into it. You know, having the mirror when you did.
Yeah, it's
Just
I like to do that aggressively. I mean, sometimes it bites you, but usually there are some fringe benefits.
yeah. I mean, you can't. I don't think, especially you can't look at it as any sort of difference in this. Like typically you could, but there were. When it's this close, you can point to just about anything.
Right.
And again, if anybody is popping in late, we don't have an actual winner. It says it, but we have to say that, you know. So we're gonna have to look at this. Admins will have a project for him, but yeah. I I hate to do this with the kind of race we had, but
No, you got your own race. Good
I
luck.
gotta
Good luck.
take care of DT here, and yeah, we see a difference of 3 on the CR there, and the IGT pretty much the same as the RTA. So, wow, once again, yeah, this will be a good conversation for people for a little while, I think. But whoever ends up with it, nice work. Is this your first game?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
game 1.
This is game 1.
Okay, so I mean, I guess you probably can't do that again, but if you can,
Maybe we could try. Well, Bright-eyed, you said this is your first time in brackets?
Yeah, this is my first time in brackets. Yeah, it's my first playoff race.
Well, dang, a very nice start.
Absolutely.
so yeah, I am gonna leave it on that note. Once again, best and biggest of GGs to both of you, and we'll see you on the next one. I wouldn't be surprised if they make sure to get you on the stream. I mean, if they can, they have a slot. I would expect to see it. So, you have a time yet or not yet?
Tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, I think.
All right. Well, get some rest. Have a good time. Yeah. So,
Thank
thanks
you very
once
much for the comms and the tracking. We
Yep.
appreciate it.
Thanks once again, Jestro Zooks. Thank you, Maddie Walker, for getting us set up and synced, because guess what? It mattered. And yeah, we're going to send a raid out. I'm not sure quite where yet, but whatever it is, enjoy that. I will see you next time.